What's up, guys? So today we're gonna be reacting to fucking share my shit ass stories. Yeah, props to August the Duck. I just watched a few videos of him and it gave me the idea. So thanks, August. If you see this, August, I like your content and you're pretty good. And make sure to subscribe to me and August the Duck. Trust me, it'll really help. So, further ado, let's get into it.
Chris, and I've always been very close with my mom. I guess it's because my dad left us when I was a baby. Ever
Damn,
since,
bro, that's why you're being breastfed at 16. You have no father. That's why you get no bitches. You get no bitches. You ain't get them hoes. I still be calling. And use a simp. I don't use a simp.
Our favorite activity was her breastfeeding me. But on my 10th birthday,
What the hell?
she asked me if I wanted to stop doing it. I was shocked and started crying because I loved drinking.
You wuss ass bitch. Like, wah. That's what happens when kids get breastfed. If any mothers are watching this, do not breastfeed your kids up until they're 10. Only breastfeed them at the max until they're 4 years old. Trust me, this is some good advice because you don't want your baby to turn out like Kristen, like Chrissy.
My mom's milk. It tastes much better than cow milk. Because even though it starts off a bit watery, after a few seconds...
How you know what cow's milk tastes like? And I'm back on my grind. And then you know what? Let's just get back into the video. We ain't even 30 seconds yet, bro.
Seconds, it gets really creamy. Yum! I told her I would never stop drinking her milk. And to this day, every morning and every evening, my mom comes into my room to breastfeed me. I guess the only weird thing is that I'm 16. I actually didn't know it was strange to be breastfed as a teenager because my mom homeschooled me until 8th grade. After that, I went to a public school, and when I asked one of my classmates if he'd rather drink milk from a cow or from his mom, he started laughing because he thought I was making a joke. But I don't think it's something to laugh about. I mean, what's wrong about being breastfed as a teenager?
It is something for you to get shit on. Like, bro, if I was at that school, I would fucking stomp your ass out. I would fry your ass. Yeah, I did great. Yo, bad. I need to call cops on me because when I see someone to jump, I just can't hold myself. I just need to jump on.
As a teenager, it tastes amazing. There are lots of health benefits, and I have a really close relationship.
Oh, shut your bitch ass up. About that Bill Science guy shit. Bro, actually shut the fuck up. That's why your mom's white. I swear, a black mom will be like, nah, what you need to. You gotta be drinking regular milk now. And if you ask, you'd be like, hell no, boy. And smack you. And no, your ass will just cry some more. Well, us black kids, we take it. We just take it. And no, I am not giving Share My Story any credit. You should be off of the internet. I deserve your subs. There is some story time channels that are actually pretty solid and deserve your subs. I can't believe you're almost at 3 million. That's almost 3 million children's brains rotting with your wuss ass story. I won't be surprised. Oh my baby, Mr. Beast in love. It's so scary, so scary. So time. Like, well, we all know even Mr. Beast doesn't exist. And we all know these stories are who's got fake.
Relationship with my mom because of it. The only thing I wish is that my mom was less overprotective and less involved in my life. I often feel like I'm living in a bubble, like she won't let me
a cat. And of course, there has to be a catch a fucking bird. Now let's just say, and share my story doesn't really enjoy doing this. I know no human can take this amount of bullshit. I know no human can take this amount of force flash.
Let me play soccer with my classmates because she is worried about me being injured. And when I meet up with friends at a mall, she wears a wig and follows us wherever we go to make sure I'm safe. It's super annoying, but most of the time, she doesn't allow me to go outside at all. She says it's for my own safety, but I think she's just jealous when I'm hanging out with my friends because she doesn't have any friends herself. And if I should ever get a girlfriend, my mom would
Bro, why do you have a handsome Squidward? Just right there.
probably go crazy and try to destroy our relationship.
Yup, that's exactly what a black mom would do. She would come for a she-devil, a whore, a bitch, a hoe.
Because I don't think she could handle sharing her son with another woman. But isn't it a normal part of life to become independent of your parents? To move out and start your own life and your own family? Well, I know it will break my mom's heart, but as soon as I go to college, I will move out of her place. I haven't told her yet, but I already made the decision. Her style of parenting already made me become the weird kid in school. Because whenever something happens that I don't like, I just start crying or screaming.
I wonder why, you wuss-ass bitch. You little bitch. That's what bitches do. That's what little bitches do. That's what gay people do. You little bitch.
Screaming. I know it's immature, but I can't help it. My emotions just take over. Like one time a classmate of mine took a potato from my plate and ate it. He knew I would get upset about it. But he probably didn't expect what I did next. I got so mad that I threw the rest of my plate into his face.
He just took a potato from you. Jesus. God, Jesus, man. You don't need to be such a little bitch about it.
And then I started screaming as loud as I could in the middle of our cafeteria. It took me...
Bro, you ain't being raised by your mom. You being raised by a caveman. I mean a caveman. You're being raised by a cave woman. Not a mom.
It took me a few seconds to realize that I had embarrassed myself in front of my whole school. It was the most pathetic moment in my life.
No, the most pathetic moment of your life is when you were 10 and when you decided, I'm gonna let my mom breastfeed me.
Now everybody thinks that I'm a complete weirdo. I actually blame my mom for me being so immature. She
Blame your mom? No. Blame yourself.
homeschooled me until I was 14. And I never had any other kids to play with, so I never learned the rules of how to interact with other people. I guess she is scared of losing me and wants me to stay mature, so that I'll never move out of her home. That's why I recently told her I wanted to join the military once I turned 18. I was just joking, but she almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, any mom would have a heart attack. Cause you probably smart. You too smart for that. That's what every mom would say. You too smart for that.
And started begging me not to do it. She said it's too dangerous for a little boy like me.
Yup.
I got angry and wanted to tell her I'm not a little boy anymore. But then she offered me.
If you act like a little bitch, then you are a little boy. You gotta stay a little boy until you stop acting like a bitch.
Play hide and seek again, just like in the old times. It's a game where my mom hides somewhere inside our house, and once I find her,
Don't anyone doesn't who the fuck doesn't know what hide and seek is? Gen Z knows what hide and seek is. Millennials know what hide and seek is. Everyone knows what hide and seek is. Your fucking grandpa that's 100 years old knows what it is. He's been out on Hines of World War II. He had to play hide and seek with the enemy soldiers. Sorry, that joke was not funny. Sorry if it offended you guys.
I can drink her milk as a reward.
Hey, yo, pause. I don't even have no words.
We hadn't played this game in years, so I got really excited, and we ended up playing for hours.
I bet you got fucking bored. Off of you and your mom. This is so hot. Give me more. Give me more.
It felt so good and comforting, because it was just like in the old times. But afterward, I realized...
Yeah, old times. The old times you weren't acting like a little bitch. You should just stay home, school.
My mom had tricked me into being a little boy again. It's all a part of her selfish plan to keep me immature. Anyways, for the next 2 years, I will continue to live with my mom, and I'm not planning to stop breastfeeding and...
Hey! This video making me laugh. This video making me lag all over the place, man. Because it's just so unbelievably shocking that human 16-year-old boy acts like a little bitch. When something doesn't go his way and still being breastfed. No.
Feeding anytime soon. I simply enjoy it too much. But I do know that at some point, I need to grow up and become independent of my mom. Because
like
right now, I'm a pathetic weasel that can't even take care of himself.
Jake, I'm recording. So what am I supposed to do? Just stay silent the whole time? Tell me. Come on, tell me. Tell me. Come on, Jake, tell me. Tell me. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to deal with my brother. Sorry, guys. Just had to deal with my brother. Yeah.
So if I ever want to have a wife and kids, I first need to become a mature and reliable man. Anyways, thank you for listening to my story. And please subscribe to this channel.
Hell no. Not if Satan's ass cracks chance. I will subscribe to this. Anyways, on to the next video. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm gonna be creating a top 100 FNAF songs playlist soon. So yeah, good. These stories are a lot more believable. No. How can children believe on this? How can children believe all of these? Bro. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck? What a simp. I just can't find any good video to react to. Ooh, why is
At Domino's, you can get more than just amazing, delicious pizza. There's also...
Fuck.
Hey, I'm from Mexico, and my family is kind of wealthy.
At Domino's, you can get more than just amazing, delicious pizza.
With that shit. I got home. I'm calling on my phone. Was all okay, I'm looking. Yeah, this is the closest thing that I can. Come on, come on, come on. Here is a good vid. You know what? I'm gonna just find another good vid. Oh, another shitty vid. That's 15 million views. 15 million views. 15 million views. 15 million views. What the fuck? Let me see what. Come on. Was one of the two vids I saw. Of course, an uncle is evil because uncles play the touching game with you. Ha. Cannibal death. Fine.
When I first found you, you were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now, you are more. Are you ready?
I hate security.
Hey, I'm Steve, and I'm in big trouble. I recently found proof that my dad is a real-life cannibal. I'm not joking here. And I'm not sure if I should contact the police or FBI, but I know I have to do something.
Yes,
because my
you
dad
contact
needs to be
the
stopped.
police.
I should have realized that he was weird when I was a kid. My dad always told me stories about a cannibal tribe in the Brazilian Amazonas. He told those stories with so much detail as if he had experienced it himself. He said they normally only ate deceased people, but sometimes when they thought someone was a sorcerer or a witch, they would make an exception and eat that person alive. To make things worse, he told me they mostly accused little girls of being witches. He also said that those indigenous Brazilian tribes would go out and try to capture men of other tribes and then do a big feast eating them. Listening to his stories as a kid was scary. But I was young, and I kind of thought my dad's obsession with cannibalism was normal. He also has a bunch of human skulls all over our house. And when I asked him where he got those from, he said he bought them on eBay. But I highly doubt that that's true. Because 4 years ago, he changed careers. He went from being a school teacher to becoming a crematorium operator. His new job is all about turning dead corpses into ashes. And it's his duty to treat those bodies with respect. But I suspect that he is taking those bodies apart and secretly eating them. The other weird thing he does is fly to Brazil once a year. My mom told me he has family over there, and I believed her as a kid. But why had I never seen my Brazilian family? And why had I never been invited to visit them? Well, one day I found out the truth. I went through my dad's wardrobe, and at the bottom, I found a hidden box. When I opened it, I saw several sets of human teeth. It was so creepy. And there was one photo showing my dad wearing those teeth around his head, surrounded by some indigenous jungle people.
Now we all know this is fake. We all know this is fake now. We all know this is fake because of the story of the Brazilian tribe. Like, bro. There is only one tribe left in the whole world. He could not be raised by that tribe. That is absolute bullshit, Giddy.
Another photo showed my dad holding a spear in his hand next to some indigenous warriors. It looked like they were about to go hunting.
The only tribe in the world left is not cannibals. So we all know this is just fake.
I just hope it wasn't for some other humans. But now I knew where my dad went once a year. He visited the Brazilian Amazon to hang out with some cannibalistic, warmongering tribe members. And maybe he went on hunting other humans with them so they could eat them afterward. I hope this was all a big joke, but when I confronted my dad and asked if he had ever eaten human flesh, his response was so creepy. A big grin appeared on his face, and then he asked me, "How do you know, son?" At first, I didn't know how to respond, but once I had gathered myself, I said, "You are a disgusting and evil psychopath." But he responded, No, it's not evil and it's not disgusting. I mean, what's the difference between eating pig, beef, or human? There is no difference. And if a human dies of a natural cause, then it's not evil to eat the corpse, because a dead person doesn't care. So that's why you became a crematory operator? So you can have free lunch at work? I asked him. Those are old and sick people. That would be disgusting. No, I'm just fascinated by dead bodies. It's really no big deal, he responded.
Yes,
Wow,
it is.
my dad thinks that being a cannibal is no biggie. I'm honestly scared of him, because I don't know what he is capable of. If he is willing to spend thousands of dollars each year to fly to Brazil just to eat other humans, then...
Why is there Dora the Explorer there? Dora the Explorer is Spanish. Spanish, not Brazilian. You idiot. Poor guy who submitted this. Poor guy.
then he might
Let's watch this video. This bullshit video.
also be willing to eat my mom or me. And one time, he asked me if I wanted to come with him to Brazil. He said it would be a great adventure, and I could finally develop a taste for you know what. He said it's better than anything
Human
else he had
flesh,
ever
human
tasted.
flesh.
But why does my dad think that I am even slightly interested in cannibalism? This whole thing is so disturbing. I am seriously considering calling the FBI. But I don't want my dad to go to prison because then my mom would be very lonely. To make things worse, my dad recently bought a huge barbecue grill. I am suspecting the worst, but so far, he has only used it when I wasn't at home. So I have no idea what he's eating on it. To be honest, if someone wants to eat my corpse after I'm dead, I wouldn't mind. And I recently read on the internet that more and more moms eat their own placentas after giving birth. It's so disgusting, but
Ew. And as you see, subscribe channel. Pew, 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 pew. Creepy spaghetti and share my story. We all know this is bullshit because creepy spaghetti and pew, pew, pew are fake channels. They do not exist on YouTube. And share my story. How could anyone normal be subbed to share my story besides 5 of you?
but it's one of the hottest trends out there. And even Kim Kardashian says she has eaten her own placenta after giving birth. I guess, as long as you don't hurt others, you can eat whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately-
By the way, if you do not know what a placenta is, I don't know either. And even if I did know, YouTube would ban me for saying it.
I don't think my dad is following that rule. I assume that he goes to Brazil once a year to hunt for fresh human meat.
You already
And
said
2 weeks
that
ago, he
20
cooked us a nice
times.
soup with pork meat inside. Or so I thought. Because 2 days later, he asked me how I liked the soup, and when I told him that it tasted good, I saw this creepy little smirk on his face, which means that I might have already eaten another human without knowing it. Please let me know in the comments what you would do in my situation. Shall I forget about my dad being a cannibal, or shall I contact the FBI?
Contact the
I mean,
FBI.
my dad is-
Contact the SWAT. Contact Ohio Final Boss. Contact anyone. Especially Ohio Final Boss. If he could take out Grimace, he could take out a team. He is.
At Domino's, you can get more than just amazing, delicious pizza. There's also lava cakes, bread bites, and more.
If you know.
Hey, I'm Anika, and until the age of 17, I had a perfectly normal life. I was pretty, good in school, and in a happy
Of course,
relationship.
all of the girls in this story has to be pretty. All the girls in these stories have to be pretty, pretty princesses. White pricks. Why can't a main character in these stories be fully black? Racist, man. Racist.
Relationship with my boyfriend Lewis. Well, at least that's what I thought. Because one night, everything changed. I was on my way back home from ballet practice when a guy ran up to me and threw a bucket full of liquid on my face. At first, I thought it was a prank, but then my face started to burn more and more until I blacked out. When I woke up again, everything was dark. I thought the lights were off, but something was different. My whole upper body was hurting, and when I touched my face, I couldn't feel my eyes or nose. My whole face felt like an old margarita pizza, and all I had left was my mouth to breathe through. I felt like I was trapped in a nightmare.
What?
No light, no face. I wanted to cry,
What?
but I had no eyes. So instead, I said, "Where am I? Where am I?" It was hard to speak without lips,
No.
but fortunately, my right ear still worked. So I heard my mom when she said, "You're alive. Oh, my love, what have they done to you?" She was crying and hugging me. After she calmed down, she told me that someone had thrown acid in my face, and it had burned away my eyes, my nose, and lips. So it wasn't a nightmare. My face was really gone. But why would anyone do this to me? I'd always been a very friendly girl, and even when my classmates made fun of me, saying I wasn't smart, I never talked back. I just don't like conflict. But my anger quickly turned to shame
That's
when
how
my
people in the world.
boyfriend came to my hospital bed. Even though I couldn't see, I knew how ugly I must have looked to him. He asked me, "How are you?" But it didn't even sound like he was worried about me. I could even hear a bit of disgust in his voice. It felt like he had only come to visit me because it was his duty as my boyfriend.
Wrong.
Because after just a few minutes, he left again. I never felt so bad before, and
This
this
is so
time I was able to
sad.
cry. I could feel that somewhere under my skin, tears were forming. The day the police came to visit me,
Tears were forming. Yeah. Yes. This is the only.
they wanted
story
me to
that
describe what
happened.
happened, and they asked if I had any enemies or if someone had threatened me. I told them I couldn't think of anyone. But 2 years earlier, one of my old classmates had threatened me, saying, "Be careful or I'll throw acid on you." But that was 2 years ago, and I never took it seriously. That girl had been jealous of me because I was in a relationship with Lewis. I knew that in my city of London, acid attacks were common within the Black and Muslim community. But I'm 100% white, and
Of course, black people always have to get the short end of the stick. Not like the stick down in your pants, but like the short end of the stick, like the saying. What am I saying?
and my parents are of Irish descent. After a month of investigation, the police found out what happened. They figured out that my old classmate who had threatened me 2 years before had an affair with my boyfriend Lewis behind my back. But because he didn't want to break up with me, she paid her cousin £200 to throw acid in my face. The police found the exact same acid that was thrown on me on her cousin's clothes. The police also took GPS data from his phone that showed he was very close to me on the night of the
Thank
accident.
you.
The trial went on for several months. When the cousin was asked if he wanted to apologize to me, he started crying and said he was so sorry. But you could hear in his voice that he was only acting. He came up with one excuse after the other for why he'd thrown acid on me. He even said his parents had never loved him, and he needed the £200 his cousin gave him to pay off his debts. Listening to his excuses disgusted me, and even the judge told him to shut up because no one wanted to hear his lies anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, both of them got 20-year prison sentences. But to be honest, I'm not sure if that's fair considering they've ruined my face for the rest of my life. And if they behave well in prison, they might get out much earlier. I recently visited my former classmate in
No.
prison, the one who had ordered the acid attack. Of course, it was weird meeting her. I had no eyes to look at her directly, so all we could do was talk. I asked why she had done it, and she explained that she had always envied my beauty. She said it broke her heart when me and Lewis became a couple, and the only way to take him away from me was to destroy my beauty. At last, I asked her if she regretted what she had done, and she immediately said yes, because now she would have to spend the best years of her life inside prison. That's when I realized that some people truly only care about themselves. She didn't apologize or anything. She only regretted being caught for her crime. I gotta be honest, I still sometimes get angry about what happened to me. It was such a senseless crime where everybody involved lost. The hardest part is that I'll probably never find another boyfriend. After what happened to my face, my now ex-boyfriend Lewis cut off all contact with me. And I gotta admit that this hurt even more than the acid attack. But it won't stop me from living the good life. My parents recently bought me a guide dog, and to be honest, I like him even more than I liked my ex-boyfriend. And even without a boyfriend, I can still get pregnant using a sperm donor and have my own kids. I just hope that in a few decades, technology will advance far enough that my doctors can fix my eyes and face again. But luckily, there are many jobs for blind people like me. Right now, I'm
Yeah.
working as a call center agent during the day, and I've also started practicing DJing as a new hobby. I guess all of us face tragedies and evil in our lives. And even though it wasn't my fault that someone threw acid in my face, it would be my fault if I let it make me become bitter and resentful. That's why I'm not calling for retribution, but for more police and harsher punishments to prevent this senseless violence.
This is so
Because right now,
sad.
acid attacks here in the UK are on the rise, and some of the victims are less than 10 years old. Thank you for listening to my story. and let me know in the comments how you would deal with losing your face and becoming.
The gods have spoken. You need a new, clean, heavenly body wash with Native. Our Christmas was ruined, and yours would have been too. Imagine you and your husband had made 2 cute snowmen outside your house and woke up the next morning to find a 3rd snowman sticking a large knife into your husband's snowman's chest. Well, when that happened to us, I knew instantly that he was back. You see, many years ago, when I was a teenager, my stepbrother moved in with us and told me,
Check out this news article. Isn't it rad?
the title said,
Bro sounding like Bart Simpson. Bro sounding like the rip-off version of Bart Simpson. Mark Bipson. It's only...
Step siblings get married and have 3 kids. I cringed so hard and screamed, "What's wrong with you, you creep?"
Huh?
Yeah,
Do you
what's
think
wrong?
it's weird?
Of course, you weirdo! God, Dennis had 0 emotional intelligence, and he obviously had a crush on me. But at least I knew he was
Yo,
harmless
what?
and a kind person. He actually spent most weekends helping out at animal shelters.
What?
Or so I thought. Because
What
a few
did he
days
say,
later, I was
nigga?
making pancakes, and I felt someone's hot breath on my neck. I screamed and saw that it was Dennis. He said,
Do you like my friend Michael? You've met him, right? Michael told me he loves you and dreams about you every single night.
"Ew, stop it. I don't like you, and I don't like Michael. Stop dreaming about me, you freaks." You see, I had met my stepbrother's friend Michael, and he was the biggest weirdo of them all. One time, he was at our house saying, "You know what I did last weekend? I caught 5 rats in one night. One of them is as big as a cat, and I've put them all in a rat park where they're making lots of rat babies now. Want to come over and see them?" I would rather kill myself than go home with you, you creep.
Thank
I
you.
wanted him to feel rejected and go sulk somewhere, but he responded, "Oh, I love it when you play hard to get." So yeah, he was a big weirdo, and things got
No,
creepier.
creep.
One night, my mom and dad were out of
No,
town
not
when my
you.
stepbrother Dennis said,
You and I have to declutter the basement. Dad will pay us $40 each if we help.
I could use the $40, so I agreed and followed Dennis.
Fashion wear. Fashion and shit. What on with the white girl?
The stairs to the basement. Dennis had a thing for me, sure, but he was a dumb fudge, a nice guy after all, so I wasn't scared of him.
Mhm.
Well, big mistake. 'Cause suddenly he grabbed me and forced me into a chair. I screamed, "I'm going to kill you!" But he just wrapped a rope around me real tight so
Oh no. YouTube isn't gonna like this. YouTube isn't gonna like this. YouTube isn't gonna like this. YouTube, if you see this video, there is no copyright infringement. And remember, this video is for kids to see. So yeah. Don't give me another strike. And don't do anything to this vid. And let's do something to the other.
tight so I couldn't run away.
Sorry, but I owe my friend Michael a favor, and he just wants a chance to get to know you. So please talk to him for a few hours. I bet you'll fall in love with him.
I spit right in his face, but he just left and then Michael came in. Oh, he looked so pleased with himself. And I hoped he would come close enough to my face so I could bite into his carotid artery and send him to a hospital. He said, "There's my little angel. You know, I had a dream where Archangel Michael told me that we two are meant for each other. He also said we're going to have 3 babies one day." I responded, "I'd rather stab myself in the eye with a fork than date you."
Thank
Michael
you.
droned on for 3 hours, fully convinced that I would suddenly fall in love with him. I mean, this guy was completely delusional. At last, he put a talisman around my neck, saying, "It's made out of rat bones. Keep it on, and you'll always feel my presence." When he finally left and my stepbrother Dennis came back down to untie me, I stood up and kicked him with full force in the nuts. He fell to the ground, and it felt so good to see him cry like a baby. And the second my mom got back,
That's
I told her
bad.
how I was tied up and forced on a date. She was upset and told Dennis that Michael was forbidden from ever entering our house again. I thought this would stop Michael and his craziness, but one day I received a cheesy love letter from him. On it was a drawing of me and him kissing, and there was also a strand of hair attached to it. My hair! Michael
Oh
must have
no, bro. Oh nah. Oh nah. No, he a creep.
climbed in through my window at night and chopped bits of my hair off. Like a stalker. I was petrified and
Yes,
decided
he
to
is a
Google
stalker.
stalkers. God, I read a bunch of stories that were super graphic, and it turned me into a ball of paranoia. Stalkers like Michael are selfish and get a kick out of hurting their victims, and they are willing to do anything to get them. So for the next few months, I only left the house to go to school. My mom always drove me. But then we went on vacation and got this stunning villa next to a lake,
Oh,
far away
yeah.
from Michael. I felt so safe, but one morning as I opened the front door, I found a photo of me on the floor. A photo of me taking a shower next to the lake. I immediately knew it was him, Michael.
This-
There was also a note at the
this
back that
can't
said,
be.
"You can wear that bikini on our wedding night." Well, that ruined my vacation mood.
This can't
I
be.
stayed in my
This
room
can't
with a
be.
knife at all times. And I couldn't shake the feeling that Michael had hacked my computer. Because maybe he'd seen my web search and found my location through that. So I took my laptop to a cybersecurity expert, who after running some tests told me that someone had installed a password stealer on my laptop, and that person had access to all my accounts. So on my way home, I gave my laptop to a homeless person and didn't look back. I completely ditched technology and moved to another state for college, making sure that Michael couldn't locate me. There, I also got into my first relationship with Nick. He was strong, and I think that made me feel safe. On Valentine's Day, he even left roses and a cute teddy bear at my apartment door. I immediately went to his dorm and said, "Thank you so much for the Valentine's gift." "What do you mean? I've bought you a necklace, but it's still in my bag. I haven't given it to you yet." A shiver ran down.
Oh no. This scary, bro. You need to call the FBI. You need to call the Wildfire Boss. You need to call Grimace. You need to call fucking everyone. You need to especially call Uncle Digion. He absolutely destroyed Grimace. He can destroy that stalker.
Down my spine, and I immediately went back home to inspect my Valentine's gift in more detail. I noticed that something was off about the teddy bear's eye, so I pulled it out and found a camera. In that moment, I knew that Michael was back. So I told my boyfriend about my crazy stalker. He said, "I won't tolerate this idiot ruining your life, and I promise I'll stop him before he abducts you or worse." So Nick came up with a plan. First, I asked my stepbrother Dennis to give me Michael's number, and then I called Michael asking if he could come over. The creepy thing was that it only took him 5 minutes to get to my door. We sat down and I told him, "I had a dream last night. God told me that you and I are meant for each other." "Good, it's about time. So you are my girlfriend now, right?" "Not yet, because God said you'll first have to prove your worth by beating up my boyfriend Nick." "But I could go to prison for that." "Not if you're careful. Nick goes fishing at the small lake every Friday. It's pretty deserted out there, so no one will see you. Just ambush Nick and leave no evidence behind." Honestly, I didn't expect Michael to fall for my crazy-ass story. I mean, come on, it was ridiculous. But the freak responded, "Fine, but I want you to watch while I defeat your boyfriend." Michael didn't know that I had recorded the conversation. Now, all I needed was video footage of him attacking Nick to send him to prison.
Yeah,
So on Friday,
baby.
Michael and I got to the lake, and Nick was fishing with his back to us. I took a big stick from my bag and said, "Here you go, Michael. Use this." Michael was so pumped for victory, he took the big stick. And just when he was about 7 feet away from my boyfriend Nick, I pulled out my taser and zzz, Michael was on the ground, flapping like a fish out of water. Then we called the police and handed over all the audio and video evidence. 3 months later, Michael was sentenced to 6 years in prison for attempted assault with a deadly weapon. My boyfriend Nick saved me. And that's why I married him right after we graduated college. We moved into a small 2-bedroom house
Hey,
and
this
even
is
tried for a
really
baby.
nice.
Everything just seemed so perfect. But then, a day before Christmas, the doorbell rang. I opened the door and it was my stepbrother Dennis. I said, "Merry Christmas. What are you doing here?"
Oh, I know what you did to Michael. You framed him and now he's in prison even though he would never hurt anyone.
"Leave me alone, you freak." I tried to close the door, but Dennis put his foot in between. He said,
Michael hasn't forgotten you. You better go visit him in prison and apologize.
I had enough and took my boyfriend's golf club and swung it right at him. He finally ran off, and I didn't tell my boyfriend about the incident because I didn't want to ruin his Christmas. You see, Nick and I had a Christmas Eve tradition. Every year we would build a snowman and snowwoman couple in our front yard, then got twigs to make it look like they were holding hands, and made smiley faces using Skittles and licorice. It was an expression of our love. But 4 years later, I woke up on Christmas morning and saw a third snowman. It had an evil grin on his face and was sticking a large knife into my boyfriend Nick's snowman. I screamed, "Michael is out of prison!" And I was shaking in fear, so we went to the police station and the officer responded, "So, a snowman attempted to kill your husband's snowman?" That doofus couldn't stop laughing and refused to help us. When we got home, Nick said, "I'll get rid of Michael once and for
Just
all.
should have
I have a
asked
degree in
if
chemistry.
Michael wasn't.
I'll just poison Michael.
If Michael
That's
was
child's
still
play
in
for me."
prison.
So we put our plan in motion. I was the bait, and I'd go for a jog every afternoon to give Michael an opportunity to stalk and follow me. Then Nick spotted a white Prius trailing me, so we followed the Prius after my jog was over. It went to a shabby little house in a dirty neighborhood. Nick checked the mailbox, and the bills had Michael's name on them. So the next day, Nick put a fake advertisement from a supermarket chain in Michael's mailbox that we had created ourselves. It had a small praline in gold foil attached to it, and we hoped that Michael would eat it, and you know what? A week later, we started driving past his house every night. Interestingly, the light was always on throughout the whole night and whole day, but no one ever came out. So one night, my boyfriend decided to go to the house and look through a window to see if Michael was there. When he came back, he said, "Michael is laying on the ground, not moving." So the poison had worked. We were quiet on the ride home, and I was so nervous. But then I said, "Screw it. No one will find out it was us. Let's go celebrate." We had a nice dinner with champagne and truffles. But to be honest,
Come on, bro. You didn't need to kill him. You didn't need to kill him. No.
I was never able to shake off that slight nervousness I got from murdering Michael. It might stay with me forever.
Now we all know this is fake because she went to jail. Both of them. Both of them got in a life sentence.
Hey, my name is Lisa, and this is my best friend Taylor. One day, Taylor got dumped by her boyfriend because she kept sending him 20 to 30 text messages per day, asking where he was and what he was doing. Taylor was devastated over the breakup, so I came up with a plan to get her back with her ex. I got my hands on some MRI cancer scans and told Taylor to use them to guilt her ex, Justin, back into a relationship. She sat down with him and said, "The doctors say I have less than a year to live. Is it okay if we get back together until, I'm dead?" Oh my God, of course. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I will make sure your last year will be the best year of your life. Well, their new relationship only lasted 2 months. Then Justin broke up with Taylor again, and this time because Taylor had lost her temper and stabbed him in the face with a broom, giving him a black eye. Afterward, she also destroyed his aquarium with his fish inside. She proudly told me that none of the fish survived. I told you she was violent, but what I didn't understand back then was that if Taylor was willing to hurt her boyfriend, that she was also willing to hurt me, her best friend. Anyway, a couple months later, I found my first boyfriend. My dad introduced me to him and said, "This is Malcolm. He's working at my company and he is very talented. He might even become the CEO one day." My dad was obviously trying to set us up as a couple, and it worked. Malcolm and I went on a date, but he was extremely pushy. "Don't you want to cuddle a bit? It's our first date. Let's wait before we get intimate with each other." Oh my God, you're such a killjoy. At least take your bra off so I can rub sunscreen on your back. I didn't want to, but he continued. "Please don't tell me you were scared." He always tried to pressure me into doing things I wasn't comfortable with. Meanwhile, at school, Taylor was super jealous that I had a boyfriend and she didn't. She even told me, "Break up with Malcolm. He is a loser." Well, one day we were all at a party, and while I went to the bathroom, Taylor asked my boyfriend Malcolm to follow her upstairs into a room. She said, "Your girlfriend wants you to sit on that chair and put this blindfold on. She has bought a sexy dress and wants to surprise you." Then Taylor left the room, just to come back inside again, pretending to be me. She also turned the camera on her smartphone on and filmed herself sitting down on my boyfriend's lap and kissing him. After a while, my boyfriend took off his blindfold. "What the hell are you doing here?"
Huh? We were just having some fun. Also, the door is locked. Your girlfriend will never find out about this.
Oh,
Instead of pushing Taylor off his lap, Malcolm let her kiss him for another whole minute. Okay, that was enough for tonight, but maybe we can go further next time.
What a
Wait, but you won't tell Lisa about it, or... What? Me? No, I would never do that. Well, of course, Taylor did exactly that. She immediately showed me the video of her making out with Malcolm. It was heartbreaking to watch my first boyfriend cheat on me. Malcolm even had the audacity to pretend he'd done nothing
That's
wrong.
sad.
Hey, what's up? I know what you did. You let Taylor kiss you, and you knew it was her. What? You already know? Oh, God. I guess I drank too much vodka tonight and made an honest mistake. You liar! And you aren't drunk at all. I'm going to tell my dad that you cheated on me, so he will fire you from your job. Suddenly, Malcolm became very serious. He pressed his hand over my mouth and said, No, you won't tell your dad. I need this job, and I'm sorry I...
Oh, you don't need to ruin his whole life. And when you see him on the streets, I bet you'll be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. That's what happens. Ha, ha, ha. Because, of course, these are how these stories work.
Sorry I kissed your friend, but don't forget everything I've done for you. How many times I've helped you study for your school exams. You owe me big time. Hush, Malcolm. You're a cheating scumbag, so leave her alone. No, you hush up, Taylor. You just kissed my boyfriend. Actually, he kissed me back. We were fully making out, and we even used our tongues. My heart told me to break up with Malcolm, but I also knew he was right. He had done a lot for me, and I owed him. So out of guilt, I stayed his girlfriend. Then, 2 weeks later, my dad took me and Malcolm on a trip to the Bahamas, where we had to share a bed. Come on, let's have some fun. We're on holidays. No, I won't sleep with you. I'm still mad at you for kissing Taylor. But that wasn't the only reason I was mad at him. I also wondered if Malcolm was only dating me to be closer to my dad. What if Malcolm didn't actually love me? That same day, my dad said, Come, kiss each other for the camera. I don't want to. Oh, God, stop ruining everything. Just kiss your boyfriend, you dumb brat. Screw you, Dad. You don't give me orders. I pulled out my
That's
phone.
what a white girl would do. That's what a white girl would do. That is what a white girl would exactly say to a rich dad.
Showed my dad the video of Malcolm and Taylor making out. He finished watching it and said, Explain yourself, Malcolm. It's not fair. I was tricked. I had a blindfold on, and honestly, I was so drunk that night that no one can hold me responsible for what I did. That's not true. You only pretended to be drunk so you had an excuse for kissing my best friend. Well, apparently my dad loves Malcolm more than me, because he took his side and told me, You brat, can't you see how lucky you are to have a boyfriend like Malcolm? He could easily find a better girl than you. Hold your tongue, Dad. And he isn't my boyfriend anymore. It's over between us. Ha! As long as you live under my roof, I decide who you're dating, and right now, that's Malcolm. I flipped my dad off.
This is turned into a fucking sitcom. You guys ever watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I sure haven't. But my mom watches it a lot, so yeah. Sometimes I pop in, watch a bit. This is exactly what it is.
To which he said, You keep Malcolm as your boyfriend, or I will throw you out of my house. You can't throw me out. I'm only 17. Of course I can. I just have to go to the government and declare you as ungovernable. I can file for a child in need of services petition, which means you will end up in foster care. You would never do that. Oh, you'll see. Better enjoy the rest of your vacation, because you'll soon move into a children's home. I didn't talk to my dad or Malcolm for the remaining days we spent in the Bahamas, but now that they were both single, my dad invited a bunch of working girls into our beach house every night to party with him and Malcolm. It was disgusting. And after we flew back home, my dad followed through on his promise to declare me ungovernable, just so he could throw me out of his house. But instead of going to a children's home, I knocked on Taylor's door. Hey, can I crash on your couch for a few weeks? Well. First you replaced me with your boyfriend, and now you're on your knees begging for shelter. Oh, stop it. I have always been a good friend to you.
She's lying.
Maybe, but I don't care. Have a good day. She shut the door, and I learned an important lesson, namely to choose my friends more wisely in the future. However, despite losing everything, I wasn't worried about my future. All I cared about was getting revenge on my dad for what he'd done to me. I wanted to embarrass him and make him pay for abandoning me. By now, you can probably tell that I had some serious daddy issues. Now let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
Did you also have a creepy PE teacher in your high school?
Yes. I had a creepy PE teacher in my school. Oh yeah, and I'm about to turn 15 years old in a week. I most likely won't forget. So yeah. And guess what? Now I am 10th grade. So yeah, I had a creepy teacher. And a creepy PE teacher in my high school. It was a woman. Pretty attractive, around in her mid-20s. And she said, for all of the boys to come to the locker room. And then the unthinkable happened. One of them, so the PE teacher, had sex with one of the boys. And one of the girls wondered what all the moaning was, aka my new girlfriend. So then she peeked through the door, and then she opened the door, get my creepy PE teacher locked up, baby. Let's go. So yeah. Crazy, and you guys might not believe. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
In your high school? One that seemed to like his female students a bit too much?
Yes. Well, it was kind of the opposite role.
If so, welcome to the club. Our PE teacher, Mr.
Looks like
Francis,
I'm
was
in
living
the
right
club.
next to our school, and so right on my 18th birthday, I paid him a visit. After all, I was an adult now. Hey, Mr. Francis. I'm sorry to disturb you, but my dad threw me out, and I wondered if I could stay at your place for a while. Please? There was a woman next to him, who I guess was his girlfriend. Of course you can stay. I have an extra bed upstairs. Wait, but that's where I sleep. Oh, God. This pretty girl needs a place to stay, so get out of my house. He then shoved the woman down the stairs and let me in. Oh, yes, Mr. Francis was the exact kind of boyfriend I needed to make my dad angry. The woman you threw out, was she your girlfriend? Yes, we've been dating for a year, but I was just waiting for the right moment to break up with her, because last month she asked me if I wanted to have kids. Well, who knows? Maybe I can become your new girlfriend. It's weird. My teacher was good looking, but in secret, I wished he was an ugly, fat old man because I knew that would upset my dad more. In fact, that's exactly what I did a year later. I was 19 when I went, all dressed up, into a biker bar and sat down next to the meanest looking guy inside. He was really fat and in his 40s. I told him, "You can take me out on a date, but you have to promise me something. I want you to drive me on your bike to my dad's house. I have to pick up some stuff there." Sure, whatever my princess wants. It was perfect.
Now you
The next day, we drove to my dad, and the bike was so loud, we didn't even have to knock on the door for my dad to come out. What is going on here? My new daddy drove me here. Isn't he cute? I only came to pick up some of my stuff. My dad followed me into the house and berated me. How can you date a guy like that? You should feel ashamed of yourself. His name is Rick, and yes, he has a few STDs, but I still love him. And who knows, you might become a grandfather soon. He lost it and screamed, "Get out of my house, you filthy girl. You are no longer my daughter." In the end, I probably accomplished my mission to make my dad angry. I even got pregnant by the biker and sent photos of us to all of my dad's employees for Christmas. But whether doing all this just to get back at my dad was worth it, well, that is another question.
So yeah, this was cringe. Anyway, I'ma watch it short. So this video can be an hour long.
Sure is nice of the princess to invite us over for a picnic, eh, Luigi? Luigi, why the hell are you so juicy? You can't go see the princess like this. Playa, do you think you can help my brother? Luigi's plans are out.
So bottom cake to Angel Sea Shanty. Ready? Go!
should we sling this slop for? Select the price. That's below market value. That's below market value. Let's go. Ready? Oh, careful, player. You're sucking them dry. Now you've done it. Run quick before he gets you. Need more energy crystal. Need.
Damn, that was creepy. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. Give me the 10 subs and I'll do the mechanical live stream. Wait, no, I'll call it the toxic live stream. Anyways,